Hey, welcome to Mom's Fit Life and your March newsletter workout. So we're going to start against a wall. You're going to be where you want your foot far enough out that your quads are parallel when you place that back foot on the wall. Then you're going to reach your arms out. Think about reaching through those pinkies as you drag that heel up the wall and breathing here. So as you drag that heel up, your foot shouldn't actually move. So pretend you're dragging it through, super glue or whatever. And then it should engage that hamstring on your bent knee, helping you tuck your pelvis a little bit more and getting some more core engagement happening. Really think about that nice full inhale into your armpits, your back, big full exhales, bringing that core and pelvic floor up and in. About 6 breaths, and then we'll switch sides. One side might feel easier than the other. One side might want to cramp a little bit more. And that's totally normal. Just really making sure that the whole time your foot, especially the foot on the wall, is straight and you're evenly distributing your weight as you drive that heel up towards the ceiling. So you don't want to be pulling more with the outside of your foot or more with the inside of your foot. Try and make sure it's flat and even. And then as you reach, don't round your back to make the reach happen. Then from here, you're going to come down onto your back on the floor. I'm using like actual fitness sliders, but you can use furniture sliders, you can use paper plates, towels, socks, whatever allows your feet to slide easily and smoothly on the floor. You're going to engage that core, lift your butt about 1 inch off the ground, and then slide your feet out as long and as straight as your hamstrings will allow. You might cramp a little bit or feel some tension in the hamstrings. That is an indication that you've gone as far as they will allow. Lower your butt and then bring them back in. Making sure again that your feet are staying straight. So pay attention. Are your toes turning out? Are they turning in? Are you able to keep your weight even between the inside and the outside of your feet? You can make this harder by trying to keep your butt in the air as you slide your feet back in, but we're really just trying to concentrate on that eccentric or lengthening of the hamstrings, which is that slow, controlled out component of the move. But again, feel free to try dragging those heels in with your butt lifted for a little added challenge. So I've done this before on carpet with something like paper plates or furniture sliders. I've done it on this floor with socks. Lots of options for you to still be able to make this move happen without having to buy any special equipment or do anything fancy. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor, tighten the core, lift your hips, extend those legs. Okay, so now you're coming up to a standing position. You can grab weights, but you don't have to. You are going to come into a split squat position. So step forward with one leg, get into that good lunge position, and then you're going to hinge forward. And from here, you're just going up and down in that lunge, keeping that hinge. So I'm never straightening out of it. And right now with my right leg in front, I'm trying really hard to sit into that right hip with the hinge helping aid that movement. Again, weight is evenly distributed in that front foot, and you're never straightening up as you stand. Driving through that front heel, front glute, hinge forward, and then you are up and down. So that hinge that you're creating here will actually help activate the hamstring a little bit more. So you're not going to feel this just in your quad and glute. You're going to feel this in the hamstring too. So in that case, you saw me stand up out of the hinge. That's what we don't want. Nice big exhale, lift the pelvic floor, tighten the core, squeeze that front glute. And then weights are safely off to one side. You actually can keep one dumbbell for this next move. And you're going to need a yoga block or a thick book or maybe a low step. And then you're going to place one foot on that yoga block behind you. That back foot with that will be on the yoga block will also hold the dumbbell. So my right foot is up, my right hand has the dumbbell. And then you're going to hinge off that front planted foot. Very little weight should be placed in the foot on the yoga block. Hinging at the hips, keeping the dumbbell nice and close to your body, sitting into the hip of the planted leg. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor, tighten the core, stand tall, making sure you're not over thrusting at the hips. So don't squeeze your glutes so hard that your belly pops forward at the top of the movement. After 12, you're going to switch sides. So now that other foot is going on the yoga block, dumbbell switches hands, hinging here. So depending too on what helps for you, I kind of like to think about reaching for the front of my planted foot with the dumbbell and then taking my opposite hand and reaching back to help me sit into the hip of the functioning leg. Again, making sure you're not over thrusting at the top. Don't stick that belly out with your standing movement. And then last but not least, we're going to go with a double RDL. So I'm going to grab both weights. Feet are going to be about hip width apart, so it's a narrow stance. And now we're just taking that hinge pattern to both legs at the same time. Big, full exhale. Lift the pelvic floor, tighten the core, engage those glutes and hamstrings. Again, making sure you're not over squeezing the glutes at the top and sticking your belly out too far. Back should stay flat. Head is about 45-degree angle. Really making sure you're keeping those knees over your heels, pushing those hips back like you're trying to close the car door with your butt. And that is your March newsletter. If you have any questions, please, of course, let me know.